What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Guess what, man? Guess what? KEEL Infrastructure has bounced back over $4 a share. I think it's up almost 10% today. It closed out at about $4.30 some. I told everybody it was just another, last week was just another week, right? Let the stuff play out. KEEL is going to be a volatile name, and look where we're at, right? We're back above $4. We're at $4.33. We've seen some strong momentum in the data center plays today. While we didn't see very strong momentum market wide, we've seen, KEEL did make a great move. So that's why I like to come on here and keep reminding people that, when the markets fall like they did last week, and it scares so many people out of their positions, I just want to shake them and be like, dude, it's just market volatility. You're invested in a market cap name that is very tiny. It's going to moon. It's going to fall. It's going to moon. It's going to fall, right? It moves 10%. Like when KEEL has volume, it's going up plus 10 or minus 10 in a day, and potentially more. Like we can see just KEEL's bounce today was a 10% bounce, which is, it's volatile as shit. It really is. But you got to remember, that's what you sign up for when you're investing in a name like this. That's just how it is. It's a small company. It's pre-revenue. There's a lot of speculation in KEEL Infrastructure right now, right? No lease deals have been signed. No meaningful updates have really came out, worth a price going up 10% really, unless I haven't seen it today. I've been pretty busy today, so, if there is some announcements, forgive me. I haven't really got to, scour the internet today at all, but it just goes to show you that yes, the markets are going to fall, but the very next day they can recover. And look what's going on around the world. You still have the Iran tensions. KEEL don't give a shit about that, right? They don't give a shit about that. You just got to buy and hold these companies and think long term. Buy and hold, think long term, and you will do well. Now, listen, maybe sometimes you might not do well. Like, right, if we're completely wrong about the KEEL thesis, then sometimes, it's just not going to play out in our favor. But if you've done your research and you have the high conviction in this name, then there's nothing to worry about, right? You don't want to panic sell every time it drops 10, 20%. You got to look at that as an opportunity, and you got to look at it to buy more, right? Again, another thing I was looking at today is potentially selling some cash secured puts. I'm really starting to dive into these options a little bit more. I know I've been talking about it quite a bit on the channel here, and I haven't really pulled the trigger. But now that KEEL is at these levels, anything under the $5 level has really got me interested, right? Because it's just, you gotta love options because it lets you take control of 100 shares for way less of the money, right? Yes, you're levered up a little bit and there's a lot more risk, but if you hold that high conviction in a name, and if you think it's going to outperform, and if you think it's going to get to the levels that, I've talked about here on the channel, or even, some analysts have talked about the $10 level or whatever, you can buy a $10 leap option for like $100, or it's like $120 for control of 100 shares expiring in 2028. And I honestly think KEEL Infrastructure is going to be way over $10 by 2028, right? And the reason I'm looking at the 2028 call options is I'm giving it a chance from what KEEL Infrastructure's timeline is. So 2026 is when the lease deal should be signed. 2027 is when they should be delivering that power, and their data centers, some of them should be up and operational. So by the end of 2027, there should have been a bunch of catalysts announced for KEEL Infrastructure, right? And if that's the case, a $10 price target for KEEL is ridiculous, right? Because this thing could see $20, $30, $40, $50 easy by 2028. So they're starting to look juicy. Them call options are definitely starting to look juicy, and I'm thinking about jumping in on some. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I know I keep saying that in all my videos. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I think it's about that time to get a little bit more levered exposure to KEEL Infrastructure, especially now that it's dropped. I feel a little bit more comfortable jumping in an option, right? I get a little iffy when the price is, at all-time highs, like $6 or $7. when the price is literally in price discovery, because you know, anything can happen, right? But now that it's dropped 30-40%, the call options look a lot more intriguing. So let me know y'all's thoughts. Are y'all into options at all? Have y'all purchased any leap options? I think it's a no-brainer. Not financial advice by any means, but I think call options on KEEL, if you have the thesis that I have, and if you have the outlook that I have, I think it's a no-brainer. I think there's a lot of money to be made in those call options, and even still selling cash secured puts, right? There's money to be made there as well. So I don't know. I might hop in some this week. We will see. We will see, right? I've kind of been, so in my own personal portfolio, I've kind of been de-risking a little bit, kind of moving out of some of the riskier names. I haven't touched KEEL, but I've sold out of some smaller names that I'm in and kind of moved them into my core positions, and like the S&P 500 and the SPMO, my momentum ETF, just to build up my core positions. But you know, I'm not touching KEEL. The two names that I'm really not touching is KEEL Infrastructure and SoFi. Those are the two I'm not going to touch. But, you know, I've sold out of a couple of the riskier names. And I'll give y'all a portfolio update sometime this week, probably, to let y'all, you know, kind of let y'all see what's going on. So, anyway, that's the KEEL update for today. We've seen some good price action, 10%. It feels good, you know, just not seeing, you know, one of the names you have a lot of conviction in not going down for once, right? Because the past couple of weeks, we've just seen KEEL go down and down and down and down. And it makes you start questioning yourself a little bit, like, fuck, man, did I make a wrong move or what? So it's always good to see when the price recovers a little bit. So hopefully it's still, you know, it keeps recovering. You know, I could still see dicey waters ahead, choppy waters ahead, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. But if you're in it for the long haul, you got that long-term mindset, we have nothing to worry about. We have nothing but blue skies ahead. KEEL Infrastructure is going to be successful, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to flop. I think they got everything moving in the right direction. They got a good CEO at the helm, and I think he's going to steer this thing to the proper direction. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.